Good morning everyone, this is your IP teacher Tushar Aggarwal here with you with some more programs on loops. We have studied two loops, for loop and while loop. Now should do a program to accept a number and check whether it is a perfect number or not. Now, friends, what do you mean by a perfect number? What is a perfect number? A perfect number is a number that is equal to the sum of its proper factors. For example, 6 is a number which is equal to 3 plus 2 plus 1. Okay, so this is our perfect number. Now, what we have to do for the perfect number? First, we should have a look. Now, I will write I is equal to 1. I will initialize a variable. Now, taking s is equal to 0, we will store the sum of the numbers. Now, I will take a number for which I have to check whether this is a number, perfect number or not input. Now we should write enter the number. We will get the number here. Now looking at the number, while now this num I should be less than num, means जब तक 1 I से num से छोटा रहेगा. Now if num, we have to check the factors first. If num mod 2 is equal to 0, then what we have to do now, then s is equal to s plus I. तो मैंने क्या किया, मैंने जोड़ दिया. Now I is equal to I plus 1. Now I have to check if where we have got answer in s is equal to num. It means the answer is stored in this print. It's a perfect number. Else, in the next line I will write print it's not a perfect number. Okay, now what we have done in the program, let me run it for you first, then we will see what we have done in the program. Now I will save it with the name perfect. Oh, 6 is not a perfect number. Now friends, this is not a perfect number, but I told you this 6 is a perfect number. Now have a look at it. Now when we have to find factors, we have to divide it by, not by 2. What I told you while making factors, by each and every number that we are taking. By each and every number that we are taking. So when I will run it again for you, is 6 a perfect number? Yes. Right? So what is a perfect number? Whose factors is the sum of whose factors is equal to the number itself. So what we have done, we have taken a value I which is initialized. Now here it is, I will write it for you, initialization. It is text expression. Right? It is for factors. We have taken the factors. Now in this I have stored my sum, which will be equal to the every value that is divided by the number. Now every time it is incremented by 1, it will be implemented till it is less than num. Now if both the values are true, the original value and the obtained value, then it is a perfect number. Otherwise it is not a perfect number. I will enter here 8. It is not a perfect number. So now let me move to another program, which is program to accept a decimal number and display its binary equivalent. Now, what is this program? Binary equivalent. Now, there are two things only. Decimal means 0 to 9 and binary means 0 and 1. So we have to convert 0 to 1 and 0 to 9 values to 0 to 1. So now let me start with the program. Let me take a number, n is equal to int input, enter the decimal value. Am I right up to here? Then I will take a variable which will be initialized with 0. I will take another variable which should be initialized to 0 again. Now I will take a variable in which multiplication is to be stored, C. Now how you will convert these values to binary? This is also based on the factors. Now we have to divide any number by 2 and just note the remainder and the factors of it. Now while this take a number n greater than 0, then what we have to do first, factor it, divide it by 2. The number we have to divide it by 2. Now m is equal to, we have to add now m plus a star c. Now in a it is value of what we obtained as the remainder, and in m we are having 0. So we are what we are adding? We are adding the values multiplied by the c. Now we will update c here. C is equal to c star 10 because the base of decimal is 10. Now n is equal to, we will use int n by 2, or you can use floor division also. Now just what you have to do, print n. Now for what we have converted the decimal values, now we will run it. Now here I write decimal. I will write 9. It will be 1001. What it happens that in n I have taken 9, a is equal to 0. So here 9 is to 2 is 4 will be the quotient and 1 will be the remainder. So in m what we are doing, we are multiplying this a value with the c value. This is the method. Now c is multiplied by 10 as c is having the base, so base is our 10. Now let us again run this value. It is 1001. Now it will be read as 1 and 1, not 11. It will be read as 1 and 1, not 11. Remember this thing in your mind. So this is a small program how we can convert a decimal number and it displays binary equivalent. Now next, coming to the next. Okay, now we have to program to find sum of series. अब sum of series क्या है मेरी? 1 plus 1 1 plus x, where is x, where is x, x by 1 plus x square by 2 plus and so on. So we have to find the sum 1 plus x by 1, x plus x square by 2 plus x square by 3, x cube by 3, so on up to nth term. Now let me start. Now I want two numbers. X is equal to float because x by 1 may be floating point value. So float is equal to input enter the x. Right, now I need another number which I have to input int, that is for 1, 2, 3. These are input, enter the y. Now what is our next step? Now next step is we have to sum again. So I will take sum is equal to 0. Now for condition for I in, now we have to take the range, I in range 0 to n plus 1. Now what is n here? N is any number up to which we want to take the values. Now fact is equal to 1 for k in range. Now I will tell you I comma I plus 1, it will be there. Now the next thing is now we have to multiply fact is equal to fact star key. Next what we have to do, s is equal to s plus, now look at this thing very typically, minus x star star 1 divided by fact of I, right? Now we have to print the value of sum, right? So let me save it and run it for you. Let us see. Sum of inverse 3, because it is 0 to 1 and is not defined. So what will we take? N here, n here, n here, as we have not defined the value of n. So we will write up to n plus 1. So I will take n is equal to 5. Now let me run again. 3, this 4. It is again error because this sum is equal to int object is not callable, because we cannot call the integer, so we will take it 0.0. Look at the errors which we encounter. Again I will enter 5, it will enter 5, again an error, because int object cannot be called, because fact is a integer value. Now we will make it 1 at 1. Now let us again see, or we will type convert it 3, 3. Look, float object is not callable. So what we have to do, we have to check the program again, because it is creating some problems here. Why is it creating some problems here? Because we don't have any values, because it will be containing float, it will be containing positive values, it will be containing negative values. Look, float object is not callable. Now if I will put here int, now let us see what will happen. Again float object is not callable. Now instead of doing this randomly, I will do this int, because the x we have taken float. Look, the float object is not callable. Again the value is there, so I will take it int. Now look at the changes in the program I am making. Look, the float object is not callable, because it is again and again making this float. Now your work is, I am leaving you with the work. Now your work is to find out the error in this particular code and do tell me. Now I am making it bigger. This is your homework, to find out the error. To find the error in this program. It is your task, right? I have changed each and everything. You can refer any book, you can refer any magazine, it's up to you. Now your task is to do this program. Now let me move to the yesterday we have left for the calendar program. For that which I have taken, now let me run the calendar program. What it gives? It gives the whole calendar of year 2050 where day 12th month. Now if we make it 04, let us see. It is syntax error because invalid token. Now I will write it 4. Look, the answer is there, so we don't need to write 4, 5, 6. Now it is going on 2020, so I will check for 2020. This is how you can look at your calendar. Display calendar, format, import, and this. we will start with where we left. Now, first, we will learn how to make a simple calculator. Now, how to make a simple calculator using choices. Friends, in it is very simple. For a basic calculator, what we think is that we should have two numbers. We can add, we can multiply, we can divide, or we can find remainder of those numbers. So, four or five basic operations I will implement. Now, first I will take num1 is equal to, it should be float, as you can take float values also input. If I will write, enter the first number. Num2 is equal to float input enter the second number. Right? Now, the first thing what I have to do is to make a choice. Now I will take a choice, and in input, simply input, it is a string value. Make your choice. One slash two slash three slash four. Okay, now if choice is equal to my string value 1. Say for 1 we will take add, right? So it will be, I will take another variable n is equal to num1 plus num2. Now elif e is equal to 2. The next value is 2. So n is equal to num2 minus num1, whatever you want to take. Now again elif choice is equal to 3. Now what I will write, n is equal to, I will take it for multiplication, num1 star num2. Now I will take it for division, choice therefore n is equal to num1 divided by num2. Now there are some excellent people like me who can put choice below the given options. So for that we will just print invalid choice. Right? Now friends, let us give an upper that what are the choices. So what I used to do, I used to print selections are, now in next line print one is addition. Now again print, I have to write all these things, that 1 is addition, 2 is subtraction or what, right? 2 is subtraction, print 3 is multiplication. Now print 4 is your division. Now let me run program for you and we will see what errors we will be getting. We will first ask to save the program for us. Okay, make your choices. Let us look again. Okay, now if I will make choice 4 and enter, mark the first number. Now 4 choices division, as you can see from the program, 4 choices division. So I will write 4 by 2. So what is the Why my answer is not there? Can anyone guess? Yes, because I forgot it to print n statement. Right? I forgot to print the n statement. So make choice 1, it is 2, it is 4. So it will be 6.0. It is taking float because I have taken by default float value. Now we will run and see each one of the program. Now my choice is 2, it is 2, it is 4, so it will be 2. Now I will run it again for multiplication. Now my choice is 3, it will be 2, it will be 6, it will be 12. Now my choice is 4, it will be 4, it will be 2, it will be 2.0. Now friends, if you want to add one more thing, if I will make choice remainder, then you can add as many as choices by using this method. Okay, now for the invalid choice, now I will run it again for you. Print n is not defined, so it is if I will write it here, then we can see what we will get. Syntax error because else comes before it. So what I can do, I will do just print n. Friends, look at the method, at how we can change our output in various ways. Now let me turn for you. Now errors will come, right? Sorry, I have just entered the wrong value. So it will be -2. Now if I will again run it and enter the value 5. Friends, are you taking my point now? What I am doing? It is invalid choice. So friends, while doing these things, we must take care of certain criteria which we have to write, like where we have to put print statement, where we have to take else, because else is an important part of if statement, so it cannot be taken otherwise. Right? Now, next program is for pattern making. Now my next program is to pattern making. Now, first is equal number of the rows and columns. Now friends, here we are going to use our foremost thing, that is nested row. Now how we are going to use, suppose I want 3 pairs, I is equal to 3. Now if I will just write while I is greater than equal to 0, then next point I is greater than equal to 0. Now what my next step will be, I will define another variable. Now this one is for row and the other one is for column. Now one is for row and the other is for column. The same value I will take, j is equal to 3. Now again check whether the value of j should be greater than equal to 0 again. Now what I have to print, suppose I want to print star, right, comma, horizontally I want to print it, I will give separator as spaces. Now I have to decrease the value of j so that it will be once less than 0 and my loop will end. Now what I have to do, print spaces, and I have to decrease I also, I minus 1. Now let it run for you first, and I will save it with the name of pattern. Now let me see, okay, all these stars are there, right? Stars are there, stars are there. Now what if I will make it I? Look, the pattern has changed. Now what has done? It is starting from ascending order, 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, right? If I will make here 5, look, the number has increased, right? So it's up to you what values you are taking and exploring your program. Do it, right? Now if I will make it 5 here, and just get less than, just, so my answer would be, it is an error or answer. Let's take a look. It is whole blank. It is a single star with others as blank. So there are so many programs you can do. You can define yourself, explore yourself. Oh, this will be an error, right? This goes to an infinity loop. It will never stop. No, I will make it stop. Right? Now, my next program is to, again, pattern matching. Now I have to print 1, 2, 3. Some spaces are there. Right? Space 1, 2, space 1. Now what should I do? Now let me write code for this. Same, I is equal to 3 I will take, while I is greater than equal to 0, I will put it. Now j is equal to 0 I will take. No, not 0, because 1, 2, 3. So we are starting with j is equal to 1. Now you have to do a little bit of reversing what we have done in the previous program. J is less than equal to I. Now for here, j is equal to j plus 1. Now for 1, 2, 3, if you want star, you can print star, and if you want values, we can print values. So we have to print values here. Now what I will do, I will write j, comma, same for horizontal, we will take separator, j is equal to j plus 1. Up till now, this is very much clear to all. Now we will print the blank braces coming out of that loop, and in the end, I will decrease I by I minus 1. Now, let me run it for you. Oh, sorry, I have not put it here. Comments. Now it is okay. So let it run for you. Look, 1, 2, 3. It is in the reverse order. Why it is in the reverse order? Because now understand, this loop is for the rows and this is for the columns. Okay. Now there are 3 rows. 1, 2, 3, and up to less than equal to I incremented. So 3 columns will be there. Now let me take it to the next point, where we will have pattern matching of alphabets. Okay. Now pattern of alphabets. Now let me start. First I will take I is equal to 1, and in a variable n is equal to 65, because the smallest value of in a sky code it will take according to the sky code, so it is 65. Now the next thing is while I is less than equal to 5. Okay, and now j is equal to 1, the same thing which we have done in the previous program. Now while j is less than equal to the I value. Sorry, I have written 1 here. It is I. Now what values will be changed when it is from I? Now you print, look at the method clearly, print chr n. Now this value will be converted to the character sky code, whatever it will be, n is equal to this. Then again the same thing, j will be incremented by 1 for space, and I is equal to I plus 1. Now why I have written I plus 1? Because I have taken less than. So every time I have to increase the value of I by 1. Now let me run this program for you. Pattern 1. Look, this is all A. Now if I will just make it happen, you can increase the number of words. If I will write j here. Now let us look at the error what we get. Okay, now these are some special symbols which we are getting. Now I think it is very much clear to you. So friends, for today this much is enough. You have to do these programs in your notebooks, and I will meet you tomorrow again with new concepts, with new programs of your syllabus. So till then, study hard and study better, right? So thank you very much.